Hey everyone, good evening. Yes, this is the second day in a row that I have come to you guys live to answer your questions. I know it's the weekend. Some of your questions are pending here in the group, and I just wanted to be able to talk to you guys about some of these questions here because a lot of these questions are not new. They are the same questions that we get on a regular basis, which is why, if you've noticed, our group is set up a little bit differently than most groups that let everybody post all the time without any sort of guidelines or any sort of organization. So what we've chosen to do, since our group is massive, is we have published certain posts in the group that we then tag you in as your questions are pending. So we are able to directly answer your question with some reliable advice. We have sometimes in the past allowed certain posts to come into the group, and it leaves the original poster that has the question with a lot of confusion. In fact, this happened recently with the elderberry post. There were people in there saying you shouldn't use it if you have an autoimmune disease. You shouldn't take it all the time because it won't work well. There was confusion from people who weren't qualified to speak on that, as far as a lot of people were confusing elderberry with echinacea. So I am not only a certified clinical aromatherapist, I am also a certified herbalist and a certified health coach. So I want to make sure that you guys are getting good, safe, and reliable information, which is why we set up this group in this way. So tonight I would like to address a few of the pending posts that some of you might learn something from, as some of you may have similar questions. And I also will be happy to answer any questions that you guys might have that are here live with me tonight. So if you have anything that's been on your mind relating to essential oils and essential oil safety, now is your opportunity to ask your question to me. Meanwhile, I am going to just bring the group up because I want to make sure that as I answer different questions from people that have had pending posts, that I am able to tag them properly. So let me start with, I kind of glossed over these really quickly, but I haven't really thought it all the way through yet, so I wanted to do that live with you guys. Hey Emily, thanks so much for joining me tonight. So let me see if I can tag. Sometimes it doesn't really let me tag here, but let me tag Casey. See, it's not letting me do it. It's only bringing up a couple of them and it's not letting me do it right. So if you guys give me one moment, Casey had a question about cats and I just want to make sure I can tag her. So let me try it a different way. Let me go ahead over here into the group on my machine and on my phone and let me see if it'll let me tag me. Let me tag her. So, yep, awesome. Okay, so Casey had a question and it had to do with cats, and she's asking if it's really unsafe to use oils around cats, and that she just read an article. So Casey, it is really unsafe to use essential oils with cats, and I am going to actually give you a link explaining our stance on using essential oils with
One moment.
hang on
Casey
one
had a
second.
question about cats.
Let me mute myself. Okay, so let me give her the link and you guys can also check that out if you want to as well. And it's using eossafely.com/safecats. Now you will hear some people saying, just like anything really, that I do it, it's fine, my cat's fine. Unfortunately, cats do not have the enzyme required to metabolize essential oils, and they often react pretty badly. There have been so many people here in this group, and give a shout out if unfortunately you are one of those, who have started diffusing, and within 1 or 2 short weeks, their cat had to be put down. They've noticed that their cat hasn't been acting normally. They've seen the vet and they're like, yeah, there's liver trouble. we need to put your cat down. There's been several different instances of different things happening with cats. So you really want to be careful. I mean, again, if you want to risk it, like anything else, like any of the other information that I provide, if you want to risk it, that is on you. But I am here to present the information for you so that you can use essential oils safely for yourself, for your family, for your pets. So that is a link that you guys can check out. On cats. You can use hydrosols with cats though. Here's the thing. If you want to be able to use something topically on your cat for different issues, hydrosols is a really great, safe, gentle, and effective thing that you can use on your pets, on your babies, where essential oils might be too strong. Also in that link is a list of essential oils that you especially want to avoid using with cats. So enjoy the link. If you have cats, please read it. It is something that you definitely need to hear. And if, just make your own decision based on the information that is there, that is on you. There is a question. I know we generally don't talk about brands, right? Because it gets kind of chaotic in the group whenever we talk about brands. But when I go live, I don't mind discussing brands or discussing hot topics because usually it goes a lot better. People are a lot nicer and it doesn't tend to go absolutely crazy. So there is a question from Carmen Ho. And she has a question about the Revive brand. She says she's been seeing them a lot on Facebook. I mean, raise your hand if you've also seen them. I've seen them like crazy. And she's wondering if anybody has feedback, if they are as good as they claim. Now, they are a relatively new brand. Let me just see because I'm pretty sure I added some of these over here. I have. So they are a relatively new brand. So we did not catch them in our third-party testing that we did several years ago. So what I do is I base, if I want to purchase from a company, from mostly based on the safety information. So if they have a lack of it, then that tells me they aren't very educated and they're simply selling them because they're a business like a lot of other businesses and they don't have as much concern about safety, whether they're simply ignorant that there are safety factors involved or whether they just want to stick to just selling essential oils and leave that up to the consumer. I prefer to spend my money on essential oils from companies that actually do care about safety and are making sure that everyone who purchases from them are using essential oils safely as well. So I have reviewed some of their blends in our essential oil blend safety files, which you can find at ueoslibrary.com. And I'm actually going to go in here right now and show you some of these. Now, this is paid access. Generally, you have to pay to access this information, but I'm going to go ahead and show you anyways. Let me go ahead and zoom in for you. So this is, I just want to zoom because I know a lot of you guys are on your phones and you can't see very well. Let me go ahead and move these off so you guys can see better. This is inside the Blends Essential Oil Safety Files. Now I have 18 different companies. I have over 230 individual blends that I have assessed. Hey Mary Kay, thanks so much for joining tonight. For safety, so let me find Revive. I have so many things on my screen. I have the comments open. So here is Revive. Hang on, I have overlays here. Okay, here is the Revive, the blends that I have so far assessed. Now, I have chosen these based on the submissions from you guys over here under submit. You can submit new brands you want me to add or new blends that you want to see. And based on member feedback, those are the essential oil blends that I assess over here. So I am just going to briefly click through. I do not have any of this memorized. I'm totally doing this on the fly. I have no idea what I'm going to see here. But just like any company, there are going to be a mixture of blends that are not safe and that are safe for some people. We have Akeaway by Revive that I have reviewed. It's for ages 10 plus, not safe for pregnancy, not safe for breastfeeding, not safe for pets. There's a bunch of different issues here with this blend. I'm just going to quickly go through these. Bugs Away, I do not recommend using at all, and that is due to the aborvite, which is potentially carcinogenic, neurotoxic, not potentially carcinogenic, sorry, just neurotoxic. There are other issues as well with this blend. Cycle Calm is another one that I do not recommend using due to the fennel essential oil, which is a reproductive hormone modulator, neurotoxic, potentially carcinogenic. We have Digest Support, which is another one I don't recommend based on the fennel and the anise in here. Similar situation with safety. We have Home, that is for 10 plus, no pregnancy, no breastfeeding, no pets, lots of issues here that you should avoid if XYZ. We have Joy, which is safe for all ages to inhale. So we have a winner here. It's okay to use topically over age 2. It is safe during pregnancy and breastfeeding. There are a couple of drug interactions here, and you want to avoid unbroken skin. We have Limitless, which is for 10 plus. It is safe for pregnancy, is safe for breastfeeding. The peppermint is going to make it questionable as far as it can reduce the milk supply in breastfeeding women. There are certain reasons why you want to avoid this blend, even though it is safe for all ages or ages 10 plus and pregnancy, based on the individual essential oils in the blend, potential blood thinner, potentially carcinogenic drug interactions. We have Mint Cookies, which is for 6 plus based on the peppermint. It is safe for pregnancy. Again, may cause reduced milk supply in some women as far as breastfeeding goes, not safe for pets. Some issues here that you want to be aware of. We have Slimming, which is for 6 plus, no pregnancy, no breastfeeding, no dogs, no cats. Some situations where you may want to avoid using at all or internally. It is a blood thinner, does have drug interactions, is potentially phototoxic. We have Snore No More, which is ages 10 plus. Again, depending on the camphor, may not be safe to use at all. There are 3 different kinds of camphor, that I have in my essential oil safety files. You want to always look for the white camphor. The brown camphor you never want to use, and the yellow is questionable. So you want to make sure that you understand the camphor that is being added to your blends. I could not find a botanical name for this, and even the botanical name itself is actually going to be the same for all 3. What's going to be different is the chemotype, brown, or the different species, the different variants, the brown, yellow, and the white. So you want to be very careful to understand the exact camphor that is being used. Not safe for pregnancy, breastfeeding, different situations where you may want to avoid at all or internally, blood thinner, drug interactions. We have Stress Relief, which is for ages 10 plus years. Depending on the tea tree, it may not be safe to use at all. There is a black tea tree. There was no botanical name listed. The botanical name will give us a clue as to which it is. Now, it's probably regular tea tree. The black tea tree is pretty rare. Let's just assume it's the regular tea tree, right? So it's still not recommended for under age 10. Same with unknown pregnancy and breastfeeding due to not knowing the species of one or more essential oils in this blend. But there is potentially a neurotoxic essential oil in this blend. There are different reasons why you may not want to use this if you are on blood thinners, etc. And then we have Woman's Balance, which is not recommended for anyone. This is based on fennel, based on Vitex, which are neurotoxic reproductive hormone modulators. And there's different reasons why you may not want to use this blend as well, as far as drug interactions, blood thinners, if you have endometriosis, etc. So I hope that answers your question. Carmen, I hope that answers your question, Carmen. on the Revive brand. Now, that is not unusual in that a lot of them are not going to be safe for so many people. That unfortunately is pretty common across the board with most companies. It did seem like that there were a few more blends that were not okay than were okay, a little bit higher than average on the not okay for some of those. But another link that I want to bring your attention to is a link that you can use if you are wondering if you should choose to purchase from a certain brand, no matter what it is. There are, hang on, let me just try to find this here. How to tell. Choosing brands. It's just a list of green flags and red flags that you can use when trying to assess just from their website if they are somebody that you want to choose to purchase from. So let me go ahead and get this link for you. Okay, so let me add this to the live over here. Sorry, I have so many windows open. I want to make sure I have all this accessible for you guys. Okay, so there is a link. How to choose, how to tell if an essential oil company is worth purchasing from just by checking out their website. So I have information over there for you, including a PDF that you can download with lots of specifics. So click on the image in that link and you can download the how to choose list. You can print it out. You can check right beside yes or no if that company has certain things that I personally look for when I'm assessing a blend just from looking by their website. So go ahead and check out that link as well. So I am going through and answering different pending posts that are here in this group, but as you guys are here live, you have #1 priority. So if you have any questions for me about using essential oils, now would be a great time to ask me. And meanwhile, as you guys are typing out your questions, I will go ahead and answer a few more of these pending posts here. Let's see. So Alex has a great question. Let me tag her here so she can get notified. Okay, so Alex's question is, so my fiance decided he wanted to make soap and used vanilla and cinnamon essential oils. He didn't know that essential oils should be researched beforehand. Can anyone give any information if it's safe or how much he can use for future times? So here's the thing, vanilla essential oil or vanilla absolute or vanilla CO2 extract is fine, is safe for all ages, does not have a topical max, and smells absolutely delicious. So that is excellent. As for the cinnamon, there are 2 different kinds of cinnamon essential oil, and they have a little bit different safety information. So let me go ahead and open my essential oil safety files for you guys, and I will show you the difference right here. So we have cinnamon bark and cinnamon leaf. Hopefully this is not backwards for you guys. I think it's actually good. Both of them have very similar safety issues, but they do have slightly different topical maxes, and they have a little bit different who it's safe for as well. So cinnamon bark, as you can see over here, it is technically safe for all ages, whereas cinnamon leaf is safe for all ages plus pregnancy and breastfeeding and is fine for dogs to inhale. So cinnamon leaf is typically going to be the one that you want to choose. Now, Alex, you didn't specify whether your fiance was using cinnamon leaf or cinnamon bark, so my answer for you would be a little bit different depending on which one is being used. Perhaps if you're pregnant, if it's being used with pregnant women, I'm not going to recommend the cinnamon bark. Now, the topical max for cinnamon is 0.01%, sorry, cinnamon bark is 0.01%, whereas cinnamon leaf is 0.6%. Now, yes, both of those are very low. Very, very low dilutions, can be very difficult to calculate when adding to a recipe, especially the 0.01. You need a ton of carrier to make that actually safe for topical use. Now, both of them have issues with being anticoagulant. So while that would be great if you have a blood clot, otherwise it may not be that great if you are on aspirin, if you are taking blood thinners, if you are prone to nosebleeds, if you are about to have surgery, if you just had surgery. And there are also drug interactions too. So that would be the brief rundown. There are a little bit different issues. There are a couple of drug interactions with cinnamon leaf that aren't with cinnamon bark. So yeah, you want to educate yourself. I'm so glad that you brought that to his attention. Don't know what to say about the cinnamon leaf because I don't know, or cinnamon leaf or bark, because I don't know if you use leaf or bark, and I don't know what the topical max is. But vanilla would be great. So hopefully it's properly diluted, but it's difficult to guess from here. Okay, so there is a great question from Maria. What my thoughts are on yarrow palm leaf. Now, if I am thinking correctly, I believe this is a specific blend, or yarrow palm, sorry. Yarrow palm seems to be the rage for skin health. Okay, so let me check it out. Let me go ahead and turn this around for you guys so you can see what I am seeing here. Let me go ahead and zoom in as well if I can. So I have heard of this, but I haven't really looked at it. So I appreciate you asking me about this. So let me go ahead and see what the ingredients are. If I can find them. Why am I not seeing any ingredients here? Okay, blend of yarrow essential oil and cold pressed pomegranate seed oil. Okay, so it's basically just yarrow or yarrow. Okay, I guess there's not a whole lot to see here then. Okay, so let me go ahead and look that up for you here. That is not an essential oil that I typically come across too often. All right, so I don't know if you happen, Maria, to have the botanical name for the yarrow that they're actually using. I'm not seeing any botanical names on here. And I'm not seeing it on the image either because there are two different yarrows or yarrows. There is your regular one. There is a green one. The regular one is slightly neurotoxic, does have a topical max of 8.6%. There's nothing here on this page that explains to me what their dilution is that they have added. It may be 1%, it may be fine, it may be 50%, I don't know. It does have some drug interactions as well, and it's not safe for pregnancy or breastfeeding. And this is your typical yarrow that would be added in essential oil blends. The green yarrow is a little bit more rare. This one happens to be safe for most people in most situations, so that would be the preference. So if you can find out which one they actually have included in here, that will give you your answer on the safety of using it. Now, that is really expensive, I must say. Pomegranate seed oil is amazing. I actually have some from Aromatics International. It's amazing. I actually mentioned it on the live. The last time I was live, I mentioned it because it's a really great one for winter skin, or during the winter for your skin where it's really dry, because the pomegranate seed oil is just a little bit sticky or tacky. Not too much. It's not like castor oil, but it's a little bit stickier than most of the other oils. So it kind of stays on the surface of your skin a little bit longer. I absolutely love it, but it's not $130. So you can always make your own. I love pomegranate seed oil. I think that would be excellent. And you can add something that's safer to use on your skin, such as geranium, frankincense, myrrh if you aren't pregnant. There are plenty of essential oils that are great for skincare health. And even pomegranate seed oil all by itself is simply amazing. So I don't know about the safety again, don't know what kind of yarrow that they are using specifically. And for the cost, I would simply purchase your own pomegranate seed oil and make your own. That's what I would suggest to you. So excellent question. Let me see what other comments that I have over here. I love it when you guys ask me questions because you add so much to my lives and people learn so much more. Okay, so you do not because you haven't purchased. Okay, I would just grab some pomegranate seed oil by itself and add some essential oils to make your own blend. Vicky's asking, just turned in, quick question, what are your top personal inhaler recipes that you find using most often? I only have 3 inhalers, so I want to make sure I'm using them with the best recipes. Well, that's really going to depend. I mean, if you're asking me specifically, because I am not the same as everybody else. I may not need certain things that other people may need them for, and I may use them for something different. So as far as I would love to. I do plan on, if you guys are interested as a resource, having a book on personal inhaler recipes or diffuser recipes or rollerball recipes for those of you that need to expand what you are currently using. But I don't have that resource together yet. As for me personally, I love the anti-germ. I use that. I have it in my purse. Preferably, I was better about this when my kids were younger, but when we go in and out of stores, not only do we use a hand sanitizer recipe that I have, right, but it's also great to use a personal inhaler with the anti-germ in it. Take a deep breath. Me and my kids used to do this all the time. We're a little bit less, we do this a little bit less now. I don't know why, but take a deep breath of your anti-germ and go in your store, you know, do your visit, do your play date, whatever, come on out, use this again, deeply inhale again. And what this will do, it's this anti-germ, right? And what this will do is as you inhale it, those essential oils will be present in your lungs and in your body as you are being exposed to germs, and it has a higher potential of killing those germs on contact when you are breathing them in. So if you are exposed to viruses, germs, whatever, when you're in there, it will help you to not get sick as easily as if you didn't use it. So use it before, use it after. So that would be my #1 personal inhaler that I tend to use. Another one would be one for calming. This is one like when we're traveling that I use, like, you know, for my kids and stuff too. And that is another great one to use just to calm, just to relax. Like if things are a little bit stressful as you're traveling, that would be another one that you could use as well. And let me see, another one would be the anti-congest, probably, I would say. Now, although steam inhalation is going to be the best way to use those essential oils for congestion, super, super effective, using a personal inhaler for congestion can be great, especially if you are unable to do a steam inhalation, if you are away from home, if you just want to upkeep it as you are out shopping, as you are visiting, that would be another great one that I would suggest. Some other people, you know, they may find they have an energy inhaler that they use a lot, a focus inhaler, one for sleep. There's so many different situations where personal inhalers can be super effective. So those would be my top 3. Those would be my personal top 3. And if you guys have any suggestions, throw them in the comments. Let me know your top 3 too. I would love to hear them. Is sweet orange and lemon bad for dogs? No, Michelle. No, you can diffuse sweet orange and lemon around your pets. Sorry, around your dogs. I shouldn't say pets, around your dogs. Not for cats. Lisa's asking, is white fur safe for my 9-year-old? Yes, it is. She has a cough and someone told me that it is really good for respiratory issues, so I was wondering if I could diffuse that for her during the night. Yes, you can do that. Now, I suggest that you don't diffuse the entire night, that you diffuse intermittently. I'm going to include a link here to my congest post. I do recommend Fur Needle. There is a PDF you can download, but it gives you some guidelines as well as how to use it. You can diffuse intermittently. My preference is 10 minutes on and 20 minutes off because it prevents olfactory fatigue, which is too many essential oils, too many aromas, too long smelling that skunk smell, whatever that it is, and olfactory fatigue cuts in and it kind of doesn't acknowledge those aromas anymore. So when you diffuse intermittently, 10 minutes on, 20 minutes off, you are giving your body a chance to not smell that anymore for a bit. And then as the diffuser comes back on and your body smells it again, it's like, oh, that's great. And it uses it therapeutically. So it keeps kicking your body in the butt every, 20 minutes or so and gives it that therapeutic action rather than exposing it all night long. So you're going to have a much more effective result. The diffuser, the only diffuser that I have found that does the 10 on 20 off is the Jasmine diffuser by Stadler Form. So keep an eye out for sales. I'm actually going to click on that right now and see. Sometimes they do have different colors that are reduced. So it looks like the white color is reduced a little bit right now. I've seen them as low as $39.99. That is pretty rare. They're generally more like $49.99, and it looks like right now the white one is going to be the best pick at $53.15. It is totally worth it to have those essential oils be diffused intermittently. Now, if you diffuse too short, like 10 seconds on, 10 seconds off, you are really not giving your body that break. So that's not going to be effective. So 10 on, 20 off is going to be the best suggestion that I have for you as far as diffusing. You can also make a linen spray too. Sorry, my throat is really dry right now. You can also make a linen spray and you can spritz it on her pillow and on her bedding. So through the night, she can get little whiffs of that as well, and that can be super effective too. Best oil for migraines when breastfeeding. You can use frankincense. Peppermint may not be the best because it can reduce milk supply in some women. You can use frankincense, you can use lavender. Those can be pretty effective. Certain migraines, strong aromas can actually trigger more of a reaction. It may do more harm than good. So there are different kinds of headaches and migraines. Dehydration is the #1 cause of typical headaches. Migraines may be from stress, maybe from too much bright light. That may make it worse. So there's a lot of fluctuation when it comes to what could be potentially the issue with that. But let me go ahead and give you a link. Now, we do have a lot more thorough information in our EO Recipes Club, where I give the breakdown of all of the different thorough recipes. It gives you exact drops. It gives you how long to inhale, how much to apply, how often to apply, all the safety, who it's safe for, who it's not safe for, tips for using with kids. All of that goodness is in the EO Recipes Club. So I recommend checking that out if you have a lot of situations that you need help with. Let me just go ahead and add that link for you there. Even just one recipe can make such a difference in your world. Stacy was telling me earlier today about the anti-congest blend that I have over there, and she was saying how effective it was for her son and for her as well. Sharon has mentioned more than once how much she loves a hot flash recipe. She has been suffering from hot flashes for 17 years, and this is the first time that she has found relief. So lots and lots of recipes over there, more being added every single week. You are welcome, Lisa. What do I put in the linen spray? So you can use anti-congest essential oil. So you can use fir needle, you can use cedarwood can be a great addition to the fir needle to add, especially for linen spray when you are trying to sleep. It's very relaxing. You can mix those two, add a little bit of sweet orange, just add it to water, or if you have any hydrosols, you can add it to hydrosols as well. If you have sandalwood hydrosol, cedarwood hydrosol, lavender hydrosol, that makes an excellent base, and you can add your essential oils to that. Just shake it well before spritzing to make sure that the essential oils are blended in at a microscopic level to that hydrosol temporarily as you are spritzing, so it makes it out the spritzer and onto the pillow. If you don't shake it, the essential oils will float on the surface of the hydrosol, and you'll be spritzing just hydrosols, which aren't going to be quite as effective as using the essential oils as well. Diffuser blend for seasonal allergies for a 5-year-old. I hope I'm not missing any questions. I'm going to have to actually scroll back. I apologize. I will get to everybody. I have a page for you for on allergies that gives you some essential oil suggestions. Again, the free information on the website gives you some help, gives you some guidance. They pretty much always tell you how to use them, whether it's inhalation, personal inhaler, whether it's using it topically, and generally gives you some essential oils that you can use as well. But all the specific exact formulations that I have blended together are going to be in the EO Recipes Club. And if you have or need any substitutions, I can give you those as well. So that is those essential oils can be helpful for allergies. So take a look at the list, see what ones you have, and those are the ones you can add to your personal inhaler for your 5-year-old. Now, if you have a personal inhaler like this is going to have an opening that's generally too large to insert into your nostril for most of us. If you have the plastic ones, they do have a tapered portion to them that you can actually insert into the nose part way. And that can also be very effective. I don't recommend that, the inserting, for kids under the age of 6. I generally recommend just wafting it because they will be able to smell it pretty strongly and that will be effective, just in case they get a little bit overwhelmed. Now, something like congestion, that may be just exactly what they need. They may need to be overwhelmed a little bit, but just, you know your kid, just play it by ear, just waft it first and see if that helps, and if not, you can hold a little bit closer and see if that is more effective. Yes, Vicky, you need to jump on the Hydrosol train. I do have Hydrosol's profiles located in the library area. So let me find that for you. So here is a link to the library, and I do have some hydrosols listed along with some benefits for the hydrosols, the different uses that you can use them for. Someday I'll have a course, someday I will add a lot more information and do a book and all of that, but for now, that will get you started in learning about the different hydrosols and what they're helpful for. Let me go ahead and scroll and make sure I got everything. Oh, Michelle is asking if I heard of No Crap In It company rollerball oil blends. I'm wondering if they are safe blends to use. I have not. Let me Google it and I will let you know what I think. No Crap In It rollers. Let's see. No Crap In It roller blends from $17.99. That's pretty expensive. Okay, let me flip this around and show you guys exactly what I'm seeing here. So you can see exactly what I'm seeing. So this is the first time that I've seen this. Let me go ahead and zoom these in if I can. Can I zoom this? So you guys can see what I'm seeing too. Here we go. Okay, so there are different blends here. It looks like ADHD, ADD. Okay, so this blend has, okay, so this is diluted. Let me just move this. So grapeseed oil, cedarwood, and vetiver. Okay. See, here's the thing with ADD and ADHD. See, in the EO Recipes Club, I actually have several different recipes because it depends on the kind of ADD or ADHD that people have. Let me actually quickly run over to my website right here because I have some information here for you. Okay, so here is some information on ADD, ADHD. There are different kinds. Some people benefit from the more calming sedative essential oils, while others benefit from stimulating essential oils. So this one is assuming that the person using it needs the sedative essential oils. So this may not be effective for everyone that actually has ADD or ADHD. This also as a roller, so this is meant to be applied to the skin. So with most emotional / limbic system issues like ADD, ADHD, you want to inhale these. So while you are rolling it on your skin, yes, you can breathe it in and yes, you can smell it. So yes, you are inhaling, but because they're diluted, they aren't going to be as effective as a personal inhaler. So my recipes that I give in the EO Recipes Club are for personal inhalers. I have a recipe for diffuser recipes. I have essential oil jewelry recipes. Those are going to be much more effective than rolling on the skin, where it's not something that you are going to get a really good whiff like you would from an inhaler. So this could be effective for certain people. Allergy relief. Okay, so I see here, again, this is another thing, personal inhaler. Using a roller is not going to be as effective. Lavender, peppermint, and lemon are the most generic common threesome that you will see for allergies, but they aren't necessarily going to be the best. Lavender can actually make things worse for a lot of people, especially if it's seasonal lavender or, sorry, seasonal allergies or environmental allergies. That can actually make things worse for some people. Peppermint and lemon, that's not generally something you're going to use for allergies. But yes, you will see these being recommended. Don't know why for allergies. Go ahead and check out the link that I gave you already for allergies and use that instead. I did add that link, right? Yes, allergies. So use that blend instead. Alzheimer's. So essential oils really aren't going to be effective for Alzheimer's. Consume coconut oil. There are other things that you can use. If what they mean to say is memory issues, rosemary does have some scientific research backing that it can be helpful if you are inhaling rosemary while you are studying, that you can do better on your test. I don't know about all these. There's no research on that. Ginger, no. Ylang ylang, I mean, this is, to me, completely random. Okay, so as for anger, that's a whole can of worms, right? So we have lavender, patchouli, orange, ylang ylang. You know, lavender can be calming, patchouli, aphrodisiac, ylang ylang, aphrodisiac, orange can be calming as well. I suppose that might work. I mean, if you're feeling angry, I mean, that is a little bit, I don't know. I don't know about using essential oils for that specifically. I think you need to deal with your issues. Eliminate your stress. You know, there's other things. I don't know that I would use essential oils in this specific way. So that is super interesting. And also another thing you want to inhale for if you want to calm down. Anxiety, you don't need a roller for that. Use your personal inhaler. And you want calming essential oils. Frankincense is not specifically a calming essential oil. Lavender can be for some people. Grapefruit could be helpful. Cedarwood is sedative, so that could be calming. Sweet orange and lemon, so those are more uplifting essential oils. So that could be, that could work. Again, personal inhaler. Autism is not necessarily going to be something that essential oils are going to help with. Blood pressure, maybe, maybe not. There are certain essential oils like ylang ylang, sometimes sweet orange, that if overdone can make people feel a little lightheaded and could potentially cause their blood pressure to drop just a little bit. But not frankincense, not lavender, not bergamot, cedarwood. I mean, this is a little bit, let's just hodgepodge this blend. Bone. So as far as bone pain, that is really difficult to get to. Essential oils are best for muscular pain, for tendinitis, for ligament pain. Bone pain is really, really hard to get to. Wintergreen, peppermint, cypress, frankincense, potentially that could be helpful for some pain associated with bone. We don't know what the dilution is. That's another thing, is depending on the situation, you may need a 3%, you may need a 20%, you may need a 50% dilution depending on the pain. And there's no indication here what any of these are actually diluted to. Wintergreen has a very low topical max. Peppermint has a 5% topical max. Some of these have very low topical maxes. Ylang ylang is 0.05%. And I don't know if this company is keeping that in mind when they're creating their blends. There's no indication of what is their dilution at all. So let's see. Okay, so breathe easy. We have eucalyptus, peppermint, tea tree. Again, inhalation. This is not going to be recommended for anyone under the age of 10. So they have a ton here. So I would say a lot of these I am not going to spend the next hour going through all of these. A lot of these you don't need a roller for. A lot of these are going to be best inhaled. Not very impressed on most of these blends that I'm looking at. I don't feel that they were formulated properly, some of the ones that I'm seeing here. Nutmeg is potentially carcinogenic. I would not use that at all. Would not recommend using that. Yeah, so yeah, it's just a mixed thing. So if you have any specific blends that you are looking at that might be a little bit better for me to assess those specifically, yeah, some companies, they just kind of, in my opinion, seem to randomly kind of throw things together. I formulate based on therapeutic properties and the therapeutic result that I want you guys to have. So I blend for efficacy and not randomly. So hopefully that helps. Yeah, Michelle, basically most of them should be inhaled, yes. Also, they basically are generic, random, and overpriced. Yeah, okay, you said it. Basically, I would say yes. Okay, I do like this energy one, but again, inhalation. Peppermint, sweet orange, lemon, and grapefruit. I have no complaints with that. That would be ages 6+ only. That could potentially interfere with milk supply. The peppermint in breastfeeding women. There are potentially phototoxic concerns with using lemon and grapefruit topically, but if this was a blend for inhalation and you were over the age of 6 and you weren't breastfeeding, that one would be fine. Is the Revive brand just as good as the MLM oils, or what brand do you buy? Great question, Melissa. I actually answered this almost the very first question was about Revive. And so when we're done with this slide, you can actually go back and review. I actually went into the EO Blend safety files. That is member only, paid access only, but I went in there for you guys and I ran down real quick the Revive blends that I have assessed, and there's probably 15 of them in there. A lot of them I don't feel are safe to use for most people based on the safety of the individual essential oils. There were a few in there that were I had no issue with. It is not just personal preference. It's based on the safety of the essential oil, the individual ones, and that affects the blend safety as a whole. So you can go back and review that. I did do a rundown of those earlier. You are welcome, Miss Shay. Let me see what other questions you guys were asking about while I was talking and answering other questions. Let me see. Did you by chance see my comment question? Yes, for migraines when breastfeeding, if that is you happen for some reason to not, Facebook is not showing me your name or your profile picture, so I'm not sure if you are the same one, but I did. Okay, perfect. So I think I made it to the end of all your questions and comments. So if you have any other questions and comments, please feel free to ask me now. Let's see. So Courtney, I'm just going through some pending questions that were asked in the group, and I am answering those here live. So I am going to answer a question from Courtney, as those of you who are here on live with me now are coming up with your questions if you have any. Courtney had a question about, she says, after reading all the safety recommendations, I've become almost scared to use my essential oils with a young toddler and a dog in the house. Any recommendations on how I can diffuse with them both to just make my house smell good? So I have 2 different posts that I want you to check out. Actually, I should do it as a reply over here. There's one on children and there's one on dogs as well. And you can check those out and you can compare the essential oils that are safe for children and that are safe for dogs and the essential oils that you currently have. And those are going to be the ones, after cross-referencing, that you can actually use. As far as diffusing just to make your house smell good, I would definitely look into the safety of the essential oils that you have determined are safe for kids and safe for dogs. Some of them are, although may be safe to expose around children, may have drug interactions, may have other situations that you may need to be aware of. So I would definitely look into the individual safety of those before diffusing. before making your decision. Now, generally lemon and tea tree are going to be great for germ killing. Lemon is great for making your house smell good, and it doesn't have drug interactions. It's safe for everybody. It's safe for pregnancy, safe for dogs to be around. And so that generally is going to be my generic go-to to recommend for people to use. So that would be my suggestions for you. Let's see, Vicky, simple question. Is Better Homes and Gardens Walmart generic brands just as good as others, not blends, just straight oils? I kind of feel a little bit uneasy about that because it seems like everybody is jumping on the bandwagon. My red flags that I'm seeing with those generic essential oils, I've seen those. I've seen a ton of different brands in TJ Maxx. You see them even in Best Buy. My concern is that they're generally really, really inexpensive, even frankincense. So I've seen like a 5-pack that includes frankincense for $9.99. I've seen, I actually have been in a Walgreens where I've seen that they sell essential oils and they're all like $5.99. They're all $4.99. And I mean eucalyptus, lavender, frankincense, they're all the same price. So that to me makes me a little bit suspicious on the quality because frankincense essential oil is not cheap. Now you don't have to pay $90 for it. You can pay $15 for it. But $5, no. So I personally don't invest in those specific brands that you see that are really, really, really cheap in the stores and all the same price. Because that tells me that somebody is not doing their research and really investigating and seeing what these should cost and the value. They may simply be fragrance oils as well, especially if they just say peppermint oil. I mean, it could be diluted, it could be a fragrance oil, we just don't know. So there are so many different brands to purchase from online that we know are real essential oils. I would stick to those personally. You can use them in cleaning if you want. You can use them to scent your laundry if you want to. That would be probably the most that I would use those for. Okay, so yes, you are welcome, Vicky. Better safe than sorry when it comes to those obscure brands. I mean, not that Better Homes and Gardens is obscure, but you know what I'm saying. Is lemon safe for cats? I do not recommend using any essential oils with cats at all. Let me give you a link so you can read more information. They just lack the enzyme to metabolize essential oils, so it's not something that I recommend. Other than MLM, what other brand of Thieves essential oil are safe? So Thieves is actually a generic term that's been used before Young Living trademarked it or registered it. It just indicates a blend of anti-germ essential oils, and that blend originally included vinegar. It was an herbal blend and all of that stuff. So there are lots, pretty much every brand out there has their version of Thieves. We have On Guard, we have Germ Fighter, we have all these other different ones, and they almost all contain pretty much the same essential oils. They're going to have rosemary and or eucalyptus. They're going to have cinnamon bark and or leaf, clove essential oil, and then generally either orange or lemon. That blend is going to be the same safety no matter where you purchase it from. So because of those specific essential oils, that blend itself is not going to be recommended to use under the age of 10. And that is because of the rosemary and eucalyptus. It's not safe for under age 10 to be inhaling. And topically, it's not going to be safe under age 2 due to the clove and the cinnamons. They have a very low topical max, cinnamon bark, clove, cinnamon leaf. Those also happen to have drug interactions. They are potentially blood thinning. Cinnamon bark and clove are not safe for use during pregnancy. So there's a lot of issues with that particular blend. Yes, it kills germs, but it's also not the safest blend that you could potentially use. If you are looking for a really great blend that kills germs, try tea tree and lemon. Just those two, super powerhouse germ killing duo. Tea tree itself is antibacterial, antifungal, antiviral, and both of them together work amazingly well to kill germs without all of the drug interactions, without being unsafe for most people, and all of that. So look into that. It's very simple, yet very, very effective. and you will be very pleased with the results. Let's see, Michelle, we have talked about blends. I'm wondering about Young Living and doTERRA's straight essential oils. Are they good quality, safe? They're fine. They are just as good as a lot of other ones out there. When we did our third-party research about third-party testing about 6 years ago, we found that their individual essential oils were just as good quality as some of the other ones out there. Myrrh was the very first one that we tested, and that we tested, what brands did we test? We tested doTERRA, we tested Young Living, Oracacia, Sensual Vitality, and oh my gosh, I think it was Mountain Rose Herbs, and all of them were quality essential oils, but they did have a huge variety on the prices. We have Oracacia, that was amazing and just as great quality at $15 for the bottle of myrrh. And then we had doTERRA and Young Living that was $60, $80, $90 for the bottle, and they were the same quality. We tested tea tree, we tested peppermint, and you know, most of them passed. Actually, a lot of the peppermints didn't pass. But most of them were pretty much the same quality. So what you find when you are purchasing from different brands mostly is you are paying a lot for the marketing. I mean, think about how much marketing that Young Living and doTERRA put out there. You see it everywhere. I mean, just think about the business model that they have. You know, they need to have a lot of padding built into their products because they have to pay uplines, they have to pay downlines, they have to give away bonuses, they have to do vacations, all of that stuff. So by nature, essential oils sold with that business model is going to by nature be more expensive because of all of that extra stuff. When you are purchasing directly from a company from their website or even through Amazon, you are cutting out those consultants, those reps, those vacations, those all of those perks and stuff, and you are buying from the company directly. Most companies out there actually purchase from the same distillers as each other. Myrrh, for example, to bring up myrrh again, there's only like 2 or 3 distillers in the entire world where you can actually get myrrh essential oil. So they're purchasing from the same people, and that is not uncommon. Something like lavender can be grown a lot of different places. There's lots of different kinds of lavender, and you may get different qualities of lavender, but most of them are going to be fairly high in linalool. So that is fine. So yeah, don't think that just because you are paying a lot for an essential oil means that you are actually getting much better quality, because that most oftentimes is not going to be the case. So great question. Let's see. You are welcome, Michelle. Anne-Marie, oh my goodness, I'm getting tea tree as soon as possible. Yes, you have to get tea tree. Tea tree is amazing. It does have a medicinal aroma that some people don't love, but when you blend it with lemon, it's great. But tea tree is excellent for so many, many, many things. It was actually the first essential oil that I ever purchased 20 years ago, 25 years ago. So peppermint failed. There were a lot of yeah, a lot, like one company didn't have enough menthol in it. There were quite a few. I think it was 10 out of 13 were not in compliance. So some of them, yeah, just didn't have enough menthol, or they had indicators that it was adulterated. There were actually several that were adulterated with ethyl vanillin, which means ethyl vanillin was added to the peppermint to make it smell better. So that was doTERRA, that was Heritage, that was, oh, I think there was there may have been a third one as well, but there were at least those 2 that had it. Nature's Gift, their peppermint that was purported to be high in menthol actually came back as this does not have enough menthol. Because at the time, the owner, she just uses her noses for things. So she's just smelling it, and she's like, oh yeah, this isn't high menthol peppermint. So it came back as not enough menthol. So it's like, yeah, don't trust that. So yeah, there were just different reasons why there were a lot of different issues with the peppermint testing. So yeah, lots of different crazy things with that. Yes, I think I saw your question. See, okay, here's the thing. I'm not seeing the question on the live, but I'm seeing you ask if I've seen your question on here, and I did actually address the one about migraines. Oh wow, how can we know then GCMS? How is Aromatic International Oils? Aromatics International, I have no complaints. I really like them. As far as, yes, how can you know, is the GCMS reports. Now, from our third-party testing that we did several years ago, we actually brought attention to a lot of these companies who now are using GCMS reporting. They are now including the GCMS reports on their website. They are doing their own third-party GCMS testing and not just simply trusting their supplier that they get it from, what's included in those essential oils. So you can actually access the reports from different companies like Aromatics International, and they will give you a GCMS report reflecting the oil that you've purchased. They are actually great about giving you, whatever number on your bottle. You can go and look at the report on their website, and you can actually access those reports even if they're older reports. Some places, they'll just throw up a report that reflects a batch that was tested at some point, and you are to assume that all of the peppermint you ever get is reflective of that, and that won't be the case. It will change, different batches will change depending on temperature that it was grown at, depending on waterfall, depending on storage. There are so many different things that actually affect the constituents in the essential oils that will affect the level of menthol in peppermint or the level of linalool in lavender, and there's so many different factors. So accessing that GCMS report that is reflective of the bottle you are purchasing will give you insight into what you are getting. So that is definitely what I would recommend, is if your company offers, or whoever company that you are buying from, if they offer the GCMS reports, take a look at that. Yes, good to know. Absolutely. Okay. If anybody else has any other questions, oh good, I am seeing more questions. Yay, I love questions, it's so fun. What would be a good essential oil for a small child 3 and 5 with congestion? I am going to link you to our Congest page. That includes a download that you can access, a PDF download for different recipes and different ways that you can use essential oils for congestion. Let me see. So that's what I would recommend. So take a look for that PDF link on that page for child-safe alternatives to eucalyptus, rosemary, and peppermint that are effective for congestion. And I give you the different essential oils that you can use instead, along with a personal inhaler recipe, along with the different safety and substitutions that you can use instead, along with a thorough list of alternatives to eucalyptus, rosemary, and peppermint, other than the few that I've added for you. So about doTERRA peppermint, yeah, so in our third-party testing 6 years ago, they were found to have added ethyl vanillin to their peppermint to make it smell sweeter. And Heritage essential oils, I can't remember, is that what they're called now? Actually, I think they changed their name. They also, Hopewell, so now they're Hopewell, same thing. So they were both using the very same supplier, and they both had basically adulterated peppermint essential oil. You are welcome. Is TerraShield blend safe to use on children? Let me show you, because I believe I actually do have that as one of the ones that I've assessed. Is that doTERRA or is that Young Living? Okay, so that is doTERRA. Let me go ahead and show you what I'm seeing here. Okay, so safety info for TerraShield by doTERRA. This has a ylang-ylang. It is diluted, so fractionated coconut oil, tamanu seed, Nootka wood, cedar wood, catnip, lemon eucalyptus, litsea, vanilla, and arborvitae wood. This blend is not recommended for any age, not safe for pregnancy, breastfeeding, dogs, cats, do not use. I can tell you that arborvitae is going to be the main reason for that. It is neurotoxic. It does have some drug interaction. So this is not something that I would recommend. Okay, other questions. Let's see. That's why doTERRA peppermint smells different than Young Living. Yes. Now, different peppermints can smell differently. Again, it depends on the level of menthol. It depends on where it's grown, how it's stored. You know, if it's oxidized, there are a lot of different things that can reflect that. But yes, there was a very trace amount of ethyl vanillin, just enough to make it smell just a little bit better, which is why I remember them pushing, like, just go by the smell. Like, you can tell what's better. Just look at, just tell by how it smells. And of course it's going to smell great. Of course it smells like candy. They had, at least at the time, they had added ethyl vanillin, and that made it smell better. Is eucalyptus or fir needle better for adult congestion? Honestly, fir needle is better for adult congestion as well. So this is not just use fir instead of eucalyptus because it's not as strong and it's gentle for kids. No, it's simply more effective. I mean, I don't know how many of you guys have walked into a forest and you can, unless you're allergic, you can feel, oh my gosh, you can just breathe so well in a forest. Fir needle is simply just amazing for congestion. I know eucalyptus gets a reputation for being like the go-to for congestion, but even apart from the fact it's not safe for under age 10 years, my number one go-to is fir needle for everybody. It's simply amazing. Just like you will find lavender as being the go-to for helping you calm and helping you sleep, it's really not for a lot of people. Not only do a lot of people not really like the aroma of lavender, but it doesn't work, and some people find it stimulating as well. So my preference for sleep for sedative essential oils is cedarwood or sandalwood. So I don't go by what's popular, I go by what actually works. That's just me. So hopefully you guys are similar. But yes, fir needle is better for adult congestion. And that link using eossafely.com/congest is going to give you more information on that as well. And not only is it better for congestion, but steam inhalation is going to be more effective as well than simply an inhaler or simply diffusing. Steam inhalation is really going to get all in there and be so much more effective. So, if you guys have any more questions, go ahead and ask. I am going to hit this next one. So I don't know how many of you, this is a pending post that I'm going over. I don't know how many of you saw that post from a while back. I'm actually going to tag Jackie right now. Okay, so answering you here. Do you guys remember that post a while back about how essential oils are so wonderful to add to your belly button for a variety of reasons? Do you remember that post? It actually went viral. The original post that was telling you all the benefits to adding essential oils to your navel went viral, and then my response to it also went viral. So I am going to link you to this. Okay, I'm gonna have to link on here because that scrolled by me and now I don't see it. And I want to make sure, okay, hang on. I'm gonna have to tag her one more time. So I'm gonna actually go over this a little bit with you guys too, because it's very entertaining. Okay, so the original post talked about how adding essential oils to your belly button does all of these amazing things. You can get rid of pimples and acne by applying neem oil on your belly button. Tell me how that works. Tell me how that works. You can apply olive oil or coconut oil to your belly button to improve fertility. This is not true, guys. If you were just jumping in now, this is absolutely not true. But this is a post that was going around with all of these different things for knee pain. Before bed, add castor oil in your navel and spread it 1.5 inches around your navel. I cannot make this up. I cannot make this up. For knee pain, not 1 inch, not 2 inches, but 1.5 inches around your navel for knee pain. Come on, people. Really? Really? Why not apply the essential oils, not just castor oil? Why not apply essential oils to your knee? I don't know. Am I the only one that thinks that this is totally insane? So anyways, Jackie's asking about this huge long post about all of the ways that you were supposed to put essential oils or carrier oils in your navel to help with all of these other things that aren't a navel issue. So I just added a link. I tagged Jackie in it and added a link to my response to that, showing how no, it's really not going to be that effective. Is this okay? I was just seeing a different live and I'm like, oh, that's just seemed weird. Okay. So anyways, you guys can read more information on that if you have also seen that meme about adding the belly button to your navel, because I mean, adding belly button to your navel, adding essential oils to your belly button or navel. It is not something that is okay. It just doesn't even make sense. Doesn't even make sense. Let's see. Am I going to be able to replay this live later? I would like my sister to watch. Yes. So as long as your sister is a member of this group, because this is live in this group. Sometimes I will go live on my public pages. This is in the group. So in order to see this, you have to be a member of the group. But this will be in the group. Absolutely. I will probably even upload this to YouTube, actually. Like I've been doing. I have a YouTube channel that I've been using to upload my lives to. Do I have any interest in CBD oil? Like to teach us more about it? Interest. It's not an essential oil, so I'll be honest, I am a little bit ignorant about CBD oil. It's something that I know eventually I will check out because it's all over the place. From the little bit that I've learned, I feel that it is beneficial for a lot of things. What I don't like is that they are adding essential oils to it because I don't feel that that is necessary. So I probably will at some point, but I don't feel like I've fully investigated and researched it to the point where I normally do before talking about something. Vicky has the last question. What about diffusing in a car for anti-germ and recipe? You can diffuse in a car, but you want to be really careful with that because it is a closed space. It is a very small closed space. So what I would recommend is like a clip-on diffuser. You don't want like an actual diffuser that's going to push it all over the car in the air in your car. If you add a drop or two to a pad that is just stationary in your car, that could work. That could be fine and not be overwhelming. Just be aware if anybody starts sneezing, having headaches, feeling nauseous, then it may be overdone. And again, for germs, lemon and tea tree are great for even young children. Let's see. Sharon says, oh no, I have that to my daughters to mix to make a big repellent in the summer. That was before getting connected to you. You're probably thinking of a Borvite because I know that's marketed as being an insect repellent and it will kill insects. Yes, because it's also not safe for humans. Thankfully it's winter and I have stopped using. Thank you so much. You are welcome, Sharon. What do I think about adding essential oils to toothpaste? Katie, you can add essential oils to toothpaste as long as the essential oils are safe for whoever's using it. So peppermint, for example, under age 6, I don't recommend. Over age 6, you can do it. You also want to keep in mind that young children may swallow the essential oils, they may swallow the toothpaste. That's something that we don't recommend, of course. But as an adult, if you are using essential oils in your toothpaste, again, as long as they are safe for use specifically, if you are pregnant, if you are not using any essential oils that are not safe for pregnancy, then that's fine. All of that stuff, because we as adults can pretty much remember not to swallow, right? So we are brushing our teeth, spitting it out. Same with mouthwash, that is fine. As long as you are using it within the mouth and not swallowing it, then it's not ingesting, and that can be fine to do. You are welcome, Sharon. Oh, as far as while driving my son home from school, you can do that, Vicky. Yeah, you can do that. Just be aware that it is a closed, small space, and not to overdo it, which can be done, absolutely. I'm actually going to link you to my favorite car diffuser from the Oily Amulet. Ooh, I hope she's not out. You know what? I think she might be out of stock. Because they're so gorgeous. Okay, they're sold out. I'm going to link anyways because they're so beautiful. Yeah, so that's the one that I love to use. It's just beautiful. But they're sold out, so I guess it doesn't help you guys very much. Sorry about that. Okay, any other questions from you guys? How long have I been live anyways? I don't even know. Let's see. Long enough to make my mouth all dry. How old should a child be before lavender is used on him or her? So this is a question from Crystal. So let me tag Crystal, if I can type. Okay, perfect. So lavender technically is safe for all ages. If we are talking about your generic regular lavender, it's going to be safe for all ages. There is a spike lavender, there is a Spanish lavender, and those can have some safety issues. But your typical lavandula angustifolia is going to be safe for all ages. Now, that being said, we generally recommend avoiding topical use under the age of 2 and inhalation under the age of 6 months. That's just a general guideline. Why topically under the age of 2? Because the skin is still very thin. Their skin is very thin. They're going to be more sensitive and they could be more prone to reactions on the skin. Why under age 6 months? Their lungs are still little. They're developing. You want to be very careful about exposing them to very strong aromas. There are, of course, exceptions to both of those rules, but lavender technically can be used for all ages. Now, if we are talking about using lavender to help sleep, I would not recommend a topical application of that. I would recommend a linen spray, like we talked about earlier. I would recommend inhalation. I would recommend diffusing. I would not use that topically. Topically, you could use it for bug bites. You can use it for scars. You can use it for itching. Of course, you want to dilute it first. So it's really going to be dependent on the need and the situation that you are using it for. Any recommendations on ways to diffuse around young children and dogs to improve house smells? Honestly, you got to get to the root of the problem. So if you got to wash your carpets more, if you got to whatever, I'm not saying you're a bad housekeeper. I know there's always garbage smells and this and that. I mean, always. And this is a common question that I get a lot is, I want my house to smell better. How can I help that with essential oils? Now, lemon is amazing for aroma and germ killing. If you want more germ killing power, add some tea tree to that. And those are both safe for children. They are both safe for dogs. So that is something that you can do. But like any situation, whether it's a health situation or anything, try to figure out, why is that smell? Why is that pain? Why is this happening? Try to fix that. And not just use essential oils as a mask or a band-aid. You want to make sure you are using essential oils with intention. And to make your house smell pretty is fine. That is completely fine. If you want essential oils to be diffused to help calm, that's a legitimate reason. If you want to diffuse essential oils in your home for energy or for focus, then those are legitimate reasons why you can diffuse as well. Vicky says, thank you so much. You are amazing. You are very, very welcome. Okay, if you guys have any more questions, I will probably be on, let's say, 15 minutes, and then I'm out of here, okay? My daughter did want to watch a movie with me tonight. We're thinking about watching Walk the Line because she hasn't seen it, which was an amazing movie. And I don't want to do it too late. Tea tree is safe for dogs. I know. I'm so glad you asked me that because I was expecting to get that sort of response. Let's see. So I am actually going to show you. So here's the link, first of all, that I'm going to show you. And now I'm going to go over here. I'm going to show you guys exactly what I am looking at. I'm going to zoom in for those of you who are on mobile. And let's talk about this whole dogs and tea tree thing. Why is this not zooming? Okay, let me just do zoom this way. Yeah, it's not zooming. Let me see. There we go. Okay, perfect. So those of you on mobile can actually see a little bit better. So here is our page on dogs. Please read it thoroughly. It's super, super fascinating and interesting on how to have your dog actually help you choose the essential oils that might be useful for them. Here's a list of essential oils safe to use with dogs. Yes, I do include tea tree. Now, I do include reasons below to explain because this does come up a lot. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so here we go. Let's go over this because this is something that I am told a lot. Leah, you are wrong. You are not allowed to use tea tree essential oil around dogs. And they point to this information. So let me read this to you. Okay, let's see. There is a group, which I do recommend in general, but they have a file that states that there are certain essential oils that should not be used with animals. One in particular is tea tree, Melaleuca alternifolia, for which some pets can cause poisoning and other serious health concerns. Now, they have this as a generic statement because they believe all Melaleuca essential oils, so any Melaleuca quinquenervia, Melaleuca alternifolia, any Melaleucas should be avoided by pets in general. Now, as we've seen, essential oils are very specific. There are specific types of species that are safe for some people and not others. Cinnamon bark, cinnamon leaf being an example. Cinnamon bark not safe for pregnancy and breastfeeding, where cinnamon leaf is. So if we just said no cinnamons for pregnancy and breastfeeding, we would not be correct. These are the 3 citations that one specific group uses. The first citation is a link to this page, which is linked here, which states, so I have a link to it if you want to investigate, but I am quoting it here. Citation 2 to back up why not to use tea tree is, as little as 7 drops of 100% oil has resulted in severe poisoning, and applications of 10 to 20 mils of 100% oil have resulted in poisoning and death in both dogs and cats. Products containing tea tree oil concentrations less than 1 to 2% are generally considered non-toxic if used according to label directions. So, I think we can all agree that using that much of any essential oil with your pets is not cool. It does, in fact, state that 1 to 2% dilutions are going to be non-toxic. I specifically, personally, only recommend a 0.25% topical use when using with dogs. So this citation to back up never use tea tree essential oil, I mean, who is going to actually give their dog this much essential oil? Hopefully no one. Any essential oil would be not safe for dogs if used in this large amount. Citation 3 is a link to this page, which states tea tree essential oil and pets. Veterinary toxicologists have reported that large amounts of tea tree oil applied to the skin of cats and dogs caused poisoning. Symptoms have included muscle tremors, weakness, difficulty in walking, low body temperature, and excessive salivation. With pets, as with people, following label instructions is essential. So note the large amounts and apply to the skin. This does not say a 0.25% topical use is going to be unsafe. Large amounts applied to the skin, I would never recommend. Citation 4 is a link here, which discusses that it is unsafe around cats, which I do agree. So the one group, which I actually respect the owner, I actually recommend the animal group, is using these 3 citations to say no tea tree essential oil around dogs. And after actually looking at those 3 citations, I disagree that a reasonable amount of tea tree can be used with dogs. So that is the information. If you guys disagree, feel free not to use it. If you don't want to use tea tree essential oil, don't use it. But understand that large amounts, any of these large amounts of any essential oil, I would not recommend using with dogs either. So if we are going to say no tea tree, we should say no essential oils at all, which I don't do. So I hope that was helpful in clearing up the misunderstanding about using tea tree with your dogs. So yes, I do believe it can be used safely. It's not the tea tree itself, it was the quantity. All right, so let me catch up on your comments and questions. Let's see, small list of no cats oils. I'm not sure exactly what you mean by that, but I do not recommend any essential oils to be used with cats. So the list would be very long of not to use with cats. tea tree nearly killed your dog. How much did you use? I mean, any essential oil can be harmful to pets. Let's face it. You are welcome, Corey. Monica, I had a client with bad scalp itching on them and I used rosemary on the scalp and it stops the itching. Was that safe? Rosemary can help with that, absolutely. I'm not sure what dilution that you used. I would recommend a lower dilution, usually a 1 or 2% dilution for the scalp, is the max that I would generally recommend. Don't know how much you used, but yes, that can absolutely be effective. Corey says, I haven't even opened it because I was so nervous. Thank you again, because I wouldn't put it on her, but on myself, I'd like to use it on yourself. Yeah, just make sure you are diluting when you are applying it to yourself as well. And that is fine. Perfect. So I answered all those questions. Yay! Let's see. So here's one. A lot of you have asked about congestion tonight. And here is another question on that same theme from Brenda. And she is asking, she says, hello, I have sinus congestion, so I did a eucalyptus essential oil steam, which helped so much. And I have peppermint essential oil in the diffuser. My question is, how often can I do the eucalyptus steam? And is there something better to use instead of peppermint in the diffuser? Thanks. So peppermint can be effective in the diffuser. Fir needle can be great in the diffuser. Eucalyptus can be great. Other pines and spruces can be effective as well. But as far as how often to do the steam inhalation, the correct answer is always as needed. So if it helps you and lasts the entire day, then you only need it once a day. If you start feeling congested again around the 4-hour mark, then you may need to do it again after 4 hours. So I would go by how you are feeling, and if you are starting to feel congestion again, you can always use a personal inhaler to see if that temporarily clears it up for you, and you can go longer without a steam inhalation. Otherwise, you need to do it as often as you need to. If you are very congested, especially at the beginning of your congestion, you may need to do it every couple of hours. You generally aren't going to need to do it more than every 3 or so hours, but you may need to do it more frequently in the beginning, but you should need to use it less and less as that clears up all of the congestion for you. So I hope that helps answer your question. All right, as I'm going through these pending posts, I have a few more that I want to go through. I'll be on about 5 or 10 more minutes. As you guys are here on, those of you who are here live with me, if you have any questions, feel free to ask me and I will answer you live. Let's see. Okay, so this is hitting a lot of things. So let me go ahead and, okay, so answering you here. Okay, so there's quite a few things in here. I may have quite a few links. So let me get that ready. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, first time diffusing oils around my 3-year-old who has viral induced asthma. He is sick with fever and congestion. There's a lot of things here. We have had a rough season with viruses in our house, so looking for general immune support. I tried 2 drops of thieves and 2 drops of lemon in the diffuser around him for 10 minutes in our spare room and then left to steamy bathroom due to congestion. He fell asleep finally. How will I know if the oils are aggravating his asthma? Any experiences to share? Has anyone tried an immunity roller on their child with asthma? He also has food allergies to eggs, peanuts, and tree nuts. Any advice welcome. So there's a lot of things here that I want to address. I want to first address asthma. I'm going to give you that link because some essential oils can actually make asthma worse. For some people, it can make asthma better, but there's like a 50-50 chance that those same essential oils can actually make asthma worse. So things to look for, as you've asked, things to look for are going to be labored breathing, struggling breathing, more than usual. It can be hard to see if they're already congested, but if you are using something and there's immediate reaction of coughing or wheezing, that would be a sign that that particular essential oil is not going to be helpful for a 3-year-old in that situation. You did also mention Thieves, which is a blend that is not recommended for children under the age of 10. and I'm going to give you a link to that as well. What I would recommend, lemon can be great, and tea tree can also be effective for killing germs in the air without being harmful for those under the age of 10. As far as immune support, I highly recommend elderberry syrup. Let me just make sure that I have the correct link for that. Yes, so it is just elderberry. So this is something that is safe for all ages. It's not unsafe to use if you have asthma. It's amazing. There is so much research backing elderberry as being effective for viruses. It actually stops viruses in its tracks and can shorten the length of you feeling sick and that virus hurting your body. So this is something that I highly recommend for all ages. It's also safe for pregnancy, also safe if you're breastfeeding, and you really can't take too much of it. The worst that will happen if you take too much is you can get diarrhea, and that's with a lot of different herbs. So, if you want to drink a cup of it, go for it. I've actually done that myself. It's totally fine to do. You can do teaspoons, you can do tablespoons. If you really want to whack it, go ahead for a quarter of a cup. If it's your first time, you may have a little bit of loose bowels from it, again, if your body's not necessarily used to it. Doesn't really hurt you, but that is something to look for. Otherwise, you can pretty much take as much as you need to take. Take a teaspoon every hour, whatever that you have to do to help with that. So that is something that I would recommend. Essential oils are not going to be something that are going to actually help with immunity. Now, they do kill germs, so you can diffuse them. They can kill viruses, germs, bacteria in the air, topically, but they're not going to help kind of build your immune system. So any sort of immune blends that you are finding for purchase that are essential oils are not really going to work. You want to look for herbs for that situation. So I think I covered it all. Okay, so that's what I would recommend for you. Let me put this stuff back up here because this actually includes links that you guys can use for more information as well. Okay, yes, elderberry is liquid gold. It totally is. Ron is asking about hot oils. So those generally refer to essential oils that are highly irritant. Sometimes they refer to essential oils that stimulate circulation on the skin. Sometimes those are the same essential oils. So we're looking at clove essential oil, cinnamon bark essential oil, even cinnamon leaf essential oil. We're looking at oregano, anything that can be kind of harsh. I mean, technically there aren't hot or cold essential oils, but I know what you're asking, so that's generally what is being referred to. Elderberry punch, that sounds amazing. Now, I don't just use elderberry, so if you go to that link, you will see my recipe. I love adding a cinnamon stick, cloves, grated ginger. I love adding all of those as well to the elderberry syrup. So you can absolutely use whatever you need to and throw that in there. Elderberry punch sounds amazing. I would love to have that recipe, Anne-Marie. Sheila says, my friend's husband is from Tunisia and they have wild jasmine everywhere. My friend fell in love with the scent when she went there to visit his family. I always wanted to make a jasmine perfume for her because I have the oil on hand. Do you recommend using oils to make perfumes? You can. Now, jasmine itself has a very low topical max, 0.7%. Usually with perfumes, you want to hit 2 or 3%. Unfortunately, a lot of the aromatic essential oils, or the ones that people tend to use for perfumes, such as jasmine, such as rose, such as ylang ylang, have really low topical maxes. So you want to be very careful to, when you are using that you are aware of what the topical maxes are, and that you blend accordingly. Now, I had a jasmine plant one time. It was a gift from some friends that I forget what country they went to or where they went, but oh, it was absolutely amazing. I had it in my bathroom and oh my gosh, talk about smelling delicious. It was absolutely delicious to smell. So I can understand wanting to use the essential oil for a perfume. So you can use essential oils for perfume. Just be aware of the topical maxes, be aware of any of the safety, and understand that when you are rolling it on your skin, you just need to be aware that you do not go over the topical maxes because you could have redness or irritation. Sometimes what's better is adding those essential oils to hydrosols and spritzing it in your hair or on your clothing. That is something that you can do as an alternative to make sure that it doesn't touch your skin when it has a topical max that is really low. Let's see. You are welcome, Ron. Would adding orange or lemon peel to elderberry have any added benefit? Absolutely. Make sure that the peel is either organic or scrubbed really well first, but go for it. Absolutely. Let's see. What did you say that essential oils doesn't build immunity? So yes, Lisa. So essential oils really don't build the immune system. Not like herbs. Herbs can do it, elderberries can do it, essential oils don't. That is one of the things that they cannot help with. Now, it can help kill germs. You can use it as a hand sanitizer so that you don't get sick that way. You can diffuse them in the air to help kill airborne germs. You can use them, to clean your surfaces. To kill bacteria and viruses or whatever on the surfaces, but they don't boost your immunity. That is just not something essential oils can do. Just like they do not help with thyroid issues, there are certain things that essential oils just are not meant to do. So look for herbs, look for supplements to boost your immunity and not essential oils. What brand of essential oils do I use and personally recommend? I have several. I'm not too much of a brand snob. There are certain essential oil brands that I avoid, and there are some that I like to purchase from. So I have a link there for you so that you can check that out. The elderberry link is here. It's using eossafely.com/elderberry. Let's see, there's more. I'm confused why some companies recommend putting oils on feet, toes. Me too. How would that work? It doesn't, Jillian. It doesn't. Doesn't seem like a great place for absorption. It's not. It's not. It is not. I think I have. I think I have actually a post on that because I talk about it a lot. Okay, using essential oils on the feet. Yeah, doesn't make sense. It's a waste of essential oils. Your feet, the soles of your feet are thick. They are not pores. They are sweat glands. Things don't get absorbed in pores, and on and on and on. So yes, I do not recommend using essential oils on the feet unless you have a foot issue. Then that's totally fine. Jackie says, we make a tea with elderberry, echinacea, lemongrass, hibiscus, and rose hips. That is amazing. That sounds absolutely amazing. You are welcome, Sheila. Elderberry link I've added. You are welcome, Lisa. Yeah, Melissa. So, okay, so you're replying. Yeah, it's ethyl vanillin. What is added to it? Oh, so if you guys are replying to things from before, like I'm not seeing that. I'm only seeing the new comments right now. But it's ethyl vanillin. Lisa, you need essential nutrients to build immunity. Essential oils don't build immunity. Correct? I feel like I was lied to. I was told to put on your big toe. I know. But guys, listen, does it make sense? You will see that. I mean, just like the navel post, apply castor oil to your navel in a 1.5 inch circle to help with knee pain. I mean, no. That doesn't even make sense. The only reason I would suggest putting essential oils on your big toe is if you had toe pain or something on your big toe specifically that you needed to do. But yeah, I mean, doesn't it now make sense why some of that probably didn't make sense to you at first either, and now you understand why? Jackie says, I've heard it is used with reflexology, something with a pressure point and the aroma. The thing about reflexology is you do it on a dry foot. Essential oils are not involved. So somehow someone kind of crossed the two and kind of thought, oh, let's mix these up. But no, it does not make sense. That is not something I would recommend. Lisa says, I put essential oils in between the sole and the pads. They say it's good for thieves or on guard. It works. If you find that applying essential oils to your feet works, it's because you are inhaling. So if you are applying essential oils that are good for congestion on your feet, you are going to be breathing those in when you are applying, and you are going to feel like it's working because of inhalation. So try doing that. Try inhaling those essential oils, Lisa, and see if you don't have a much more effective result than when you apply it on your skin. Genevieve says, it's interesting. Young Living accused doTERRA of not having pure essential oils for peppermint. It ended up going to court. doTERRA won, so I'm curious what information is confirming. I'm not sure that that's exactly how it went, actually. The third-party testing would show the vanilla, and all the tests I've seen show peppermint is pure with no additives. Well, our third-party testing, we actually sent the peppermints to a chemist over in France who is not affiliated with anybody here in the US, because the chemists that do testing here in the US, certain companies paying their pockets. So when I found that out, I stopped using them. I went over to France to somebody who has no ties to anybody over here, no ties to doTERRA, no ties to Young Living, and we found ethyl vanillin in the peppermint. So it is legit. It is legit. There was not contamination. And there was a second brand as well, Heritage, who is now Hopewell, same thing. And you know what? It may not be a bad thing. I mean, technically it's adulterated. Technically they added things to their essential oils. But if you like the smell and you don't see the harm in having that added ethyl vanilla, then it's not a big deal, and it's not a big deal to you. But to say that they're 100% pure when they're not, and we found that the wording on doTERRA's website changed right around this testing, right within those couple of weeks of testing. Instead of actually saying 100% pure, no additives, no blah, 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 they actually changed the wording a bit to reflect the fact that, yes, there were things added, but they're okay with that. So I do not know if they currently still add ethyl vanillin to their essential oil. And I'm not necessarily saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying it is an addition. It is not 100% pure and untouched. Sometimes we want to mess with them. You know, with almond essential oil, I mean, it's now rectified. It has to be, because it's so dangerous. They now rectify it. We want it fiddled with. We want it changed. Pennyroyal is a very dangerous essential oil. So if they can fix that and make it safe, great, we want that change. If you want to add ethyl vanillin to all of your essential oils to make them smell better, fine. That's okay if you're okay with that. I'm just saying, it's not dangerous. It's not going to kill you. It's just makes you kind of go, you know what I mean? So you are welcome, Genevieve. You don't have to throw it away. I'm just making you aware that it's not 100% pure. It actually smells great, but it's not 100% pure. So if that matters to you, then, you know, don't buy it again or whatever, throw it away or whatever. But I'm not saying you have to throw it away. I think it smells great because they mess with it. Okay. So my daughter is texting me wanting to watch a movie, and I told her that we would watch a movie, and I've gone over just a little bit more than I intended, which is typical for me because I love chatting with you guys. You guys have amazing questions. You add so much when I come live and I answer pending posts and all of that, and you guys have all these questions. I love being able to answer you guys live. So I hope you learned something tonight. I hope you learned more than one thing. As you picked my brain and asked your questions, and I absolutely love this. So I hope you guys have a great evening. I'm now going to watch Walk the Line with my daughter. I haven't seen it in ages, and she hasn't seen it at all. So I hope you guys have a wonderful evening, and I will chat with you later. See ya.